July 9th, 2026. Madam President, Pro Temporary and Presiding Officer of the Liberal Senate. Today's session is now called to full engagement of today's agenda of the Honorable Liberal Senate and is hereby so ordered.
Honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Liberal Senate, it is time.
Questions, we just like to make that very clear. The statement is going to be very crystal clear. It's going to be to the point where even our mothers in the various marketplaces and our young boys and all of them will understand this statement. So without further ado, it is my distinguished honor and privilege to invite on this microphone. So please stand with me, all of you partisans of the Great Unity Party. Please stand with me as we're about to call on a very great man. Then I always, before the chairman take the microphone, I always like to state a very, very powerful quote that have formed the consciousness of many young people. After, in fact, for me, for the first time I listened to this man, this great man, I was touched by this very quote. And this is a man who said, Liberia is a country of dual reality and paradoxical proposition. Isn't that a great quote? So this statement has conscious many of us, and it was because of this statement many of us got drawn to the national chairman of our party. We did not understand much, and we decided to go after, because whenever you attend public forums where great speakers come and they speak, some phrases you may not understand, and if you have the opportunity, fortunately for us, we had the opportunity to have him in Liberia. So we searched after him, we went to get clarity. And I hope that one day you too can muster the courage and come closer and get this interpretation of what this statement means. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, without keeping you long on your feet, it is my distinguished honor this afternoon to call on this microphone the man who will be speaking to you to address the many concerns out there in the public and to tell you how far we have come as a ruling establishment and what are the critical next steps for our government and as a political party. So join me. Let me welcome to the podium the national chairman of the Unity Party, Chairman Dr. J. Campbell. Put your hands together, for the
You better watch your opposition. You better
The evergreen never die forever. Sayo. The Boga Jiwa now is about to speak. Sayo. Nobody teacher now because you nobody English to the Sayo.
Thank you. You may have a seat.
Thank you. You may have a seat. We will not have our seat, brother. Stay on the privileges.
Fellow Liberian
Yes.
partisans of the great Unity Party,
Now,
leaders of the rescue political parties, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to Liberians home and abroad. On behalf of the National Executive Committee of the Unity Party, I welcome you to this very important press conference convened to address a number of critical national issues, reaffirm our party's commitment to transparency and accountability, and provide the progress our country continues to make under the leadership of President Joseph Nyeman Boyka Sr. We all can attest to the fact that we have and continue to witness significant progress in our country progress. Fellow Liberians, recently we witnessed the interception of illegal narcotic drugs worth over 19 million United States dollars at our international airport. We are clearly aware that this spike a major conversation among the Liberian public, bordering on the well-being of the young generation. The Unity Party truly share your concern about this drug bust. But we want to assure Liberians, home and abroad, and our international partners that this government will pursue those who are responsible for this. We will not rest until they are booked by the rule of law. From the onset of our administration, President Joseph Nyeman Boyka demonstrated political leadership when he himself, along with senior members of his administration, took drug tests before the entire republic, indicating his resolve and resilience to fight this drug cartel. He set an example and required every member of his officials to ensure that our country was drug-free. And truly, to his word and his leadership, we have seen the robust effort of the DEA and their intentional action to ensure that the ghettoization of our country came to immediate halt. Most of our regions and areas that had young people doing drugs, those areas were dismantled by the DEA leadership. But the recent drug burst on our national page clearly indicates that the fight against drugs in our country is still not over yet.
It truly means that every one of us, the government, parents, all those who are concerned, must fight until our nation is liberated from drugs, so our young people will be free from every narcotic influence. Let me, on behalf of the National Executive Committee of the Unity Party, assure our international community, the people of Liberia, that we will leave no stone unturned. Those involved, whether you are in high place or low place, in a hole or on a water, the Unity Party will support this investigation to the end until those who are involved will be brought to justice. We know that as we strive to ensure that our nation feet are placed on the right trajectory of progress, there are unscrupulous evidence in our society whose greed surpasses national interests. And they are determined to ensure that the poor man's son will not have an opportunity to participate in the national development. So they drop our children while their own children are going to good schools. But let me assure you, I got bad news for them. The Unity Party will not stop. I don't care wherever you are. We'll hunt you down. You are a bad citizen. We will jail you. We will prosecute you. On that note, as the national chairman of the ruling party, let me call on the joint security to expedite the investigative process. We tired waiting for your give us some time. The Liberian people are getting impatient. Any further delay will make the public to misconstrue your professional investigative ability. The Liberian people demand answers now. Not later. It's been more than 3 months trying to investigate this thing. Anyone we want in the next 48 hours, let those people be paraded as enemy of the state. This government, under President Walker, is making tremendous gain. Pulling the country from an economic quagmire. And we are doing everything to ensure that Liberia is on the right path of progress. We will not allow this drug burst to sabotage the gains we have made. We want to see men and women found liable to be arrested immediately, because the rule of law is one of our main pillars of our arrest agenda. And as a party, we will not pay lip service to the rule of law. Anyone found liable must face the weight of the law. The Unity Party, on a positive note, want to commend the Ministry of Finance and Development for the timely commencement of salary payment of civil servants beginning July 2nd, 2026.
The chairman getting fragile information.
This achievement reflects sound fiscal discipline, improved public financial management, and responsible economic governance. Timely salary payment strengthen household incomes, stimulate business activities, improve confidence in government, and enhance productivity across the public sector. When civil servants receive their salaries on time, the markets become active. Families meet their obligations. Businesses experience increased demand, and the economy benefits through improved improve circulation of money. The Ministry of Finance deserves commendation for demonstrating that prudent management of public resources produce tangible benefit for ordinary Liberians. In spite of ongoing political tension in the Middle East, including the crisis involving Iran that has affected global oil market, Liberia continues to enjoy stable supply of petroleum. Unlike other countries in the region, this is a clear testament of the responsiveness of the government to her citizens. And we want to commend President Baka and the leadership of the LPRS to show that Liberians have oil and gas to move around and get things done. The Unity Party has worked closely with stakeholders within the sector to ensure uninterrupted availability of gasoline and other petroleum products throughout the country, while pursuing measures that have contributed to reductions in the pump price of gasoline. I think we heard that recently, that there will be some little reduction because things are stabilizing a bit. This demonstration responsible economic management is as a result of proactive planning. We assure the Liberian people that the government will continue to monitor international markets, maintain adequate fuel supply, and implement policies that protect consumers from unnecessary price hikes. Our commitment remains clear: stable supply, affordable prices, and energy security for our people. President Joseph Boakai, the Unity Party applauds President Joseph Boakai Sr. for recently breaking ground for the construction of the modern 4-lane highway extending from the Gabriel Tucker Bridge through the St. Paul Bridge to Bullwater South. This project represents one of the most significant infrastructure investment in recent years and form part of the administration's broader vision to modernize Liberian transportation network. Upon completion, this highway will significantly reduce traffic congestion, improve road safety, facilitate trade and commerce, reduce transportation costs, increase property values and attract investment, and strengthen connectivity between Monrovia and the surrounding counties. Infrastructure development remains a cornerstone of economic transformation. And this project demonstrates that the government is committed to ensuring that the foundation for economic growth remains a top priority in the Unity Party-led government. To the young people of Liberia, this government hear you. Believe in your potential and remain fully committed to the investment the government is making in your future. We want to specifically take note of the work of Minister Colonial Crown and what she's doing to ensure that even our young people have a vacation job in the next few months. We want to thank her and her leadership at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Finally, as we march majestically to the end of our first half as an administration, let me put all the cabinet members on notice. We are aware that some of you are doing pretty well. Thank you. But those of you who think that we won this election for your own personal aggrandizement, I got a piece of lace in my pocket right now. Yes. I want to get to the president that it's time for us to have a reshuffle. that some ministries are performing well. There are some agencies that have become a weak link that could eventually damage the overall performance of the Unity Party. And I can say to many of them, listen to me. Those of you doing well, thank you.
Thank you.
Those of you who are maltreating partisans, we're hearing it.
Yes.
And we will recommend that you will be changed.
Yeah.
So that the partisan will know that their party is in the hands of credible men and women who are ready to deliver and rescue Liberia. If you are not performing well, be worried. Because your name is on my list.
Say you team of contrast in your Jesus will go for you. Just say you. Say you.
We are also aware that there are some serious-minded partisans entrusted with agencies who are demonstrating leadership. Keep on the good path. Anything happen to this government, they don't know you. That Unity Party, they will know. So we will not allow your bad leadership to drag our party in anymore for the next election. We will not allow non-performing members of our government to be a weak link in our service delivery to the people of Liberia. Let me assure you that the Unity-led party government remain firmly focused on delivering good governance, on ensuring that the international admiration for President Walker will continue on the right path. We will ensure that the bread and butter issues that confront our citizens will be addressed. Any minister, any agency that is providing leadership over our party, we have looked at you for 2 years and a half and get your scorecard.
All right.
And your grace will be delivered to the president. And we will ensure that only those who care about the ideals and the doctrines of the party and ensure that Liberia will move forward are those who will retain. Those who are there for their own personal aggrandizement will come for you. On that note, let us remain steadfast. Let us remain positive. Let us trust the process that the Unity Party government is here to rescue Liberia. It's not only the ministers, it's not only the directors, even those of you in the counties, superintendents, who are not superintending over our people in a way that brings financial and economic benefit. Your name will be on the list. Let God bless the Unity Party. Let God bless our dear President Joseph Newman Boyka. And let God bless the motherland. And let Liberia march on the trajectory of progress, prosperity, and economic development. God bless you. God bless Liberia. Thank you very much.
Standing committees, a report for the Joint Committee on Maritime and Judiciary on the Liberian Maritime Law, Title 21 of the Liberian Code of Laws revised as amended and restated for debate. B, report for the Committee on Autonomous Commission and Agencies on a confirmation hearing of Honorable Arthur David D. Format as a first chairperson designated Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the LACC. 7. Mrs. President's text. A. Communications from the President of Liberia submitting the following instruments. 1. A loan agreement, development of the Saturday Konya Road project between the Republic of Liberia and the Arab Economic Development in Africa, ADA. And 2. An act to amend and restate an act to establish a national board of Liberia. B. Communications from the House of Representatives on Horses and Girls Bill No. 18, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37 entitled an act to amend the 1986 Act authorizing the proportion of certain parcels of land lying between the Mesurado River Bridge and access road to Cartersville on the north side of Virtual Island, Queensway Freeway, and extending it for a depth of approximately 8,000 linear feet for industrial estate development purpose. Unquote. An act to ratify the financing agreement, additional financing for the Regional Emergency Solar Power Intervention Project between Republic of Liberia and the International Development Association. 3. An act to ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of Liberia and African Development Funds Renewable Energy for Electrification in Liberia, Real Project Additional Financing. 4. An act to ratify the financing agreement, second additional financing for the Southeastern Corridor Road Asset Management Project between the Republic of Liberia and the International Development Association, the IDA. 5. An act to ratify the upgrading of the Salaye to Konya Road Project Framework Financing Memorandum between the OPEC Fund for International Development and the Republic of Liberia. 6. An act to ratify the financing agreement, Western Africa Regional Digital Integration Program Series of Projects 2 between Republic of Liberia and International Development Association. 7. An act to establish a complete technical and vocational training institute in Complete City, Nima County, Republic of Liberia. C. Communication from Senator Alex Tyler of Pommy County, submitting the following instruments for enactment. An act ratifying magisterial area in Darwin Administrative District, and an act creating magisterial area in Swameka Statutory District in Pommy County. D. Communication from Senator Prince K. Moy of Bon County regarding the deteriorating situation of Phoebe Hospital and call for urgent legislative intervention. E. Appearance of the following before the Senate as a committee of the whole. Honorable Josiah F. Jokat Jr., Director General of the Civil Service Agency as it relates to the alleged a code violation of the National Code of Conduct, unquote. And Honorable Samuel Nangwe, Executive Director of the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency as it relates to allegations of numerous verbal and written attacks against members of the Senate and the entire office body, coming from members of the executive branch of government on various media platforms. 8. And the basis of adjournment. Madam President Pro Tem, the presiding officer, distinguished senators, a reading of the draft agenda for today's sitting.
Distinguished colleagues, you have heard a reading of the draft agenda for today's sitting. What is your pleasure? Senator Christian Duncan.
Listen carefully of the reading by the Deputy Secretary of the Senate. I move that I can obtain the second to the agenda just read be open for discussion.
So second.
It has been moved and seconded that the agenda just read be open for discussion. I ready to vote. All in favor say yea. Against. Any intervention? Motion to adopt. All in favor say yea. Second.
Mr. President's Desk, the first communication for the President on the Salia Konya Road project. Sponsor? Last sponsor bill. July 6, 2026. Senator Naomi Kama Lawrence, President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Madam President pro tempore, I am pleased to submit for your consideration and timely ratification loan agreement developments for the Salaye Konya Road project between Republic of Liberia and Arab Bank for economic development in Africa by year. It agrees to lend to the Republic of Liberia the sum of $30 million to support the implementation of the project. The project is designed to strengthen connectivity between the southeastern counties of Bong and Lokwa in the rest of Liberia, with particular emphasis on linking these regions to the capital of Monrovia and to international borders with Guinea and Sierra Leone. It involves upgrading approximately 56 kilometers of existing gravel roads to a climate resilient asphalt standard. This includes about 50 kilometers along the Salaye Konya corridor, an additional 6 kilometers road connecting Zoso to Yelia, a Liberian border town adjacent to Guinea, by modernizing this critical infrastructure. The initiative seeks to integrate remote communities more effectively into national and regional networks. Beyond physical connectivity, the project is expected to deliver significant socio-economic benefits. It will facilitate the movement of goods and passengers, improve access to agricultural markets, and strengthen regional trade. Moreover, the upgraded road will increase traffic efficiency, improve safety, and substantially reduce travel time and vehicle operating costs. Honorable Pro Tem, I urge the legislature to ratify this financial agreement, which will strengthen our road sector. Sincerely, Joseph Mambo Garcia, President. The sponsors are Senator Moy of Bong and Senator Chala of Yofa. Honorable Pro Tem, representing.
The first colleagues, you've heard the reading of the communication from the President submitting the loan agreement for the development of Salaye Konya Road project between the Republic of Liberia and the Arab Bank for economic development in Africa. What is your will and pleasure? Senator Tyler?
Madam President, distinguished students, I move recognize seconded that the communication of the President submitting a loan agreement between the Republic of Liberia and the Arab Bank for Development for the Salaye Konya Road be accepted and turn over to the Committee on Business and Farmers to vote on next week Tuesday. Seconded.
Second the motion. We've already said in our motion, are you ready to vote? You ready to vote? All in favor say yea. Against? Motion carried. Second. The Senate communication for the President. And roll call, is still waiting in the panel?
From our side.
Okay.
Republic of Liberia, President, June 29, 2026. Senator Yomri Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Senate. In section, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Madam Pro Tempore, I'm pleased to submit for your consideration and enlightenment the attached bill entitled, quote, an act to amend and restate an act to establish the National Road Fund of Liberia. This bill seeks to strengthen governance, transparency, and accountability in the management of Liberia's road sector. It amends and restates the National Road Fund Act of 2016 to ensure that the fund continues as a body corporate with perpetual succession and autonomy, capable of mobilizing, managing, and allocating resources for the maintenance and expansion of our national road network. The legislation is of critical importance as Liberia's road infrastructure serves as the backbone of trade, commerce, and social integration. A safe and efficient system supports sustainable development by improving access to essential services, drives economic growth through better transport, ensures transparency in managing road user charges, promotes fair resource distribution for road maintenance, and secures long-term sustainability through strong financial management. The bill introduces reforms to enhance the efficiency of the road user charging system, strengthen oversight mechanism, and provide for equitable funding distribution. It also ensures that the fund operates in accordance with principles of economic efficiency and public accountability, thereby reinforcing public confidence in our infrastructure governance. Therefore, I request the Honorable Legislature to give due consideration to this bill and pass it into law, confident that its enactment will significantly advance Liberia's infrastructure development agenda and contribute to national growth and integration for the benefit of the Liberian people. Sincerely, Joseph Mambwaka, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. And this bill is sponsored by Senator Prince K. Moy of Bong County and Senator Joseph K. Jala of Beaufort County. By the President Pro Tempore.
Distinguished colleagues, you heard a reading of another communication from the President. So it an act to amend and restate an act to establish a national road authority. What is the will and pleasure? Senator Batikwa?
Yes. Just a national road.
There's no fund on national road.
Our presiding distinguished colleagues, having received a communication conveying to this body an act to amend and restate an act to establish the National Road Fund of Nigeria, among that the communication and the instrument contained therein be received and turned over to the committees on committees on public works as the D committee, the committee on judiciary, and the committee on ways, means, and finance, and report to us upon our return.
Without listening to our motion, I read the vote. All in favor say yea. Motion carried.
Business of President's Desk, communications from the House of Representatives on Horses and Grows Bill number 18, 32, 33, 34, 35,
36, and 37. Yeah. Honorable House of Representatives, July 6, 2026. The Honorable Liberian Senate in section, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Pro Tem members, I have the honor by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in section to forward here to attached passes in gross bills numbers 32, 13, 34, 35, 36. Entitled 1, and I to ratify the financing agreement, additional financing for the regional emergency solar power intervention project between the Republic of Liberia and the International Development Association (RD). 2, and I to ratify the loan agreement between the Republic of Liberia and the African Development Fund Renewable Energy for Electrification in Liberia, real project, additional financing. 3, and I to ratify the financing agreement, second additional financing for the Southeastern Corridor Road Asset Management Project, SIPRA, between the Republic of Liberia and the International Development Association, RDA. 4, and I to ratify the upgrading of the Salaye to Konian Road Project, framework financing memorandum between the OPEC Fund for International Development and the Republic of Liberia. 5, and I to ratify the financing agreement, Western Africa Regional Digital Integration Program Series of Project 2, between the Republic of Liberia and International Development Association, RDA. The above mentioned bills were passed into the full force of the law by the Honorable House of Representatives on Thursday, July 2, 2026, at the hours of 16:26, 16:31, 16:40, 16:52, and 17:10 GMT, respectively, during its regular section, and hereby requests your timely concurrence. Please accept, Honorable Pro Tem members, the renewed assurance of my highest esteem. Sincerely yours, Liberal and Zion Chief Clerk, House of Representatives, by the President Pro Tem.
The single cited about the communication from the House of Representatives on houses and bills 18, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. The title was listed, read by the Secretary of the Senate. What is your written question? Senator Tyler?
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, I move and it be seconded that the Houses and Grounds Bill 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37, all dealing with financing agreement, be received and turned over to the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance to report to us next Thursday.
37 is the last one.
The first and the last are the not financing.
But the Assembly is also a financing agreement.
No, to establish the complex.
But that one. Okay, then 37 is out. 36.
And the one for the first one.
The first one is not a pharmacy agreement. That's why I want to 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
Right. Okay. Good.
You want to make a motion for the other two?
18 and 37. For 18 and 37, I move like it be secondly again that those two go to the Committee on Judiciary and Education to report to us next Thursday as well.
We've already stated the motion. Are you ready to vote?
Ready.
All in favor, say yea. Against. Motion carries. Secretary of State.
Application from the Alex Tyler of Wilmington. July 7, 2026. Honorable nominee Vanna Lawrence, President pro tempore, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Subject: formal submission and request for the placement on the floor of the Liberian Senate 2 acts titled and act creating ministerial areas in Doan Administrative District and an act creating ministerial area in Swan Mega District in Comey County. Dear Honorable President pro tempore and distinguished colleagues, I write to present compliments and herewith submit for timely consideration by the Liberian Senate 2 bills entitled in court and act creating the Doan ministerial area in Doan Administrative District and act creating Swan ministerial area in Swan Administrative District, Comey County, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Pro Tem and distinguished colleagues, these 2 areas have a population of over 54,000 inhabitants, and they have no magistrate court for the dispensation of justice. Therefore, I'm praying your timely consideration for the passage into law of these 2 acts for the establishment of additional courts. When these courts are established, it will bring legal relief, access to justice for the inhabitants of those district in Comey County, the Republic of Liberia. Please accept my reassurances of the highest esteem and consideration. Best regards, truly yours, P. Alex Tyler Sr., Senator, Comey County. Okay. An act creating Doan Administrative District in magisterial area in Comey County, Republic of Liberia. Whereas Doan Administrative District in Comey County, Republic of Liberia, authorizes 6 clients, namely
You want the real one?
Just Madam Pro Tem, in light of our rule on anonymous document, number 10.
That's no fun.
Asking for a witness again.
That the communication just read constitute the first reading, and it be brought back on the agenda. The next session, the next session only to the second reading.
Second.
Yes, so I so move.
So second.
Was the motion there? Are you ready to vote?
Already.
Already, let us know.
I'm ready to vote and accept that due to the significance and urgency of this matter, after the second reading, the Obedient Judiciary will report to Senate before we close.
Move that.
I said,
For the amendment to the motion, are you ready to vote?
Ready.
All in favor, say yea.
Communication from Senator Priestley Moyo of Bond County. Honorable leadership and plan area of the Liberian Senate, the Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Thursday, July 9, 2026. Subject to official communication regarding the deteriorating situation at Phoebe Hospital, a call for urgent legislative intervention. Here, Honorable Pro Tempore and distinguished colleagues, I have the honor to submit this formal communication to the plenary of the Liberian Senate to bring to your urgent and immediate attention the increasingly distressing, unfortunate, and rapidly deteriorating situation unfolding at Phoebe Hospital in Bond County. As a critical regional referral hospital serving the central region and beyond, the operational stability of Phoebe Hospital is directly tied to the national security, welfare, and public health interests of our nation. When Phoebe Hospital fails, the healthcare architecture of central Liberia collapses, leaving thousands of our citizens without a lifeline. Despite the significant strides and interventions made by this government, most notably by this honorable body through strategic and consistent budgetary allotments aimed at keeping the hospital functional, the institution has been brought to its knees. This collapse is not due to a lack of legislative goodwill, but rather a direct result of administrative bottlenecks and parents' professional negligence, and a severe lack of interagency coordination. Through the national budget, the Liberian government has consistently prioritized Phoebe Hospital to ensure that ordinary citizens have access to affordable, quality health care. This august body has played a pivotal role in ensuring that robust budgetary appropriations were made. Distinguished colleagues, despite these commendable legislative actions, the impact of these public funds is being severely undermined as a result of the prolonged go-slow action by aggrieved workers of the hospital. The crisis at Phoebe Hospital has been dangerously compounded by lack of proper coordination by the executive to professionally resolve the crisis. I, therefore, respectfully pray this honorable plenary invites both the Minister of Health and the Director General of the Civil Service Agency, CSA, to appear before the plenary of the Liberian Senate on Tuesday, 14 July 2026 to come and explain this to this August body about the situation unfolding at Phoebe Hospital. Honorable Senators, our timely intervention in this matter will not only save lives in Bond County and the surrounding regions, but it will also send an unequivocal signal across the governance spectrum that this Senate will not tolerate executive complacency or administrative laziness with the lives of our citizens at stake. Thank you. As we collectively work to protect the health and dignity of our people. Respectfully submitted, our Prince Gibbon Wade, Senator of Bond County.
You don't see the president of the Senate? Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
You ready already?
Yes.
have a communication from Senator Prince Kemuwe of Home Country. What's your waiting pleasure? Senator Brown.
Mr. Vice President of this Republic and President of the Senate, distinguished colleagues, we have listened to a communication from one of our colleagues expressing concerns over the critical situation at Phoebe Hospital. I move that the communication be received, and given the grave nature of this communication, that Phoebe is centrally located in Liberia and is a regional hospital, I move that those mentioned in the communication be invited. That is the Ministry of Health, the Civil Service Agency, and I'll add officials from the Ministry of Finance appear before this plenary on next Tuesday in an effort to resolve the situation in impasse at Phoebe Hospital, and that the writer of this communication, the senator from Bond County, be given at least 2 minutes and at most 5 minutes to further expound on the issue for our consideration. So moved. Second.
Can we move and second that? On Tuesday.
Right.
Are you ready to vote?
I'm ready.
Mr. Movement, I'll be ready to vote if you include the nursing association or head of the nurses or doctors there, because part of the problem here is we need to hear from independent people. Right.
So, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me utilize my 2 minutes.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum. Thank you. The Honorable Vice President and President of the Senate, distinguished senators, like the communication rightly put it, the issue at Phoebe is not about the lack of support from this legislature or the government of Liberia. During the 2024 budget, this legislature appropriated $75,000 extra towards mobility for the institution. That's extraordinary appropriation coming from the legislature. And those 2 vehicles were purchased, and they are now aiding the operational program of the hospital. In this 2026 budget, in the history of Phoebe, in recent years, this legislature appropriated additional, aside from the normal appropriation that has been made consistently, $800,000 United States dollars. And that $800,000 United States dollars is meant to address some of the institutional gaps. Institutional gaps regarding sanitary condition of the workers, restore some of the major things that the hospital lack of. And let me say this for the record. Before CB Doma became a comprehensive hospital, which they are trying, the government is trying to expand it, CB Doma was just a maternity hospital.
meaning CB Doma could not attend to any major cases that have to do with adults. So Phoebe has been there since, and we have to recognize that. And the partnership between the church and the government of Liberia has been respected throughout. Meaning, the church has a role to play and the government has a role to play. And that partnership has been respected. But distinguished colleagues and Vice President, it will interest you to know that it is not because of the lack of auditory support to Phoebe the protests have been persistent. I think it's a power play. And that's why this time around, we have to bring the actors here. You can remember when the first protest started, the CSA moved in and tried to establish the cause of the protest, whether they were protesting in line with the civil service standing order. And then there were recommendations for some of the workers that took the laws into their hands to be reprimanded. When that decision was made, the protesters stayed persist in their protest, and the Minister of Health moved there on Phoebe compound and made a public statement that those that were recommended for suspension would not be suspended. So that began a confusion, and I'm told that matter ended to the executive mansion. It was a win-win situation between the Ministry of Health and Civil Service Agency at the detriment of the citizens of Port County. Because when you say they should not be suspended, the other group say you will be suspended. Then of course, Phoebe is now a breeding ground for power play. Meaning the workers can do anything, nobody will say anything. So the Civil Service Agency are back up, and then the protesters now have a fair ground, a free ground, to just do anything they can because nobody there to chastise anybody. And that's how Phoebe it is right now. Just Sunday I spent 3 hours giving them all the gains that we have made as a country, as a government, in supporting this institution. If there are gaps and salary disparity, after the 800,000 utilization, the very legislature, based on your services to the people of Bon County, which happen to be the people of Liberia, this legislature will see reason to again fill that gap. And I'm sure Phoebe is of no exception amongst all the hospitals in the country that there can be a specific gap in terms of salary, and specifically. But they have been made to understand that when certain groups stay at the hospital, nothing will happen. So they are not even appreciating, the workers are not even appreciating the work of this legislature to putting in money to upgrade the hospital and even fill the salary gap they are making reference to. So I think it's a crisis, not just the working condition, but the protesters are depending on higher ups, meaning the Ministry of Health, and then those that are demanding that the HR should be removed. The CSA is saying, I can't remove the HR because, I have no reason to remove it. Because one of the concerns is the HR. So we are saying now, this time around, that plenary brings the people right here. Let them give us the reason why they are playing this power play and resorting to the